Okay, hello? Okay, hello? I think everything is good to go. It's more delayed than I would want to, but that's fine. I hope audio is good and everything. Hi, anyone that actually happens to be watching this. This is actually just a big experiment, really. Um, I have no idea how to stream. I'm not a streamer, but I felt like doing it because I am so goddamn bored sometimes. Um, and I don't know, it felt like it'd be fun to do, so why not? I tried to test like audio and everything before I started, but that's like through a recording, so I don't know if it's gonna sound the same on stream. Um, but that's okay. I also have no idea if it actually like looks any good. I'm gonna try something really quick, actually. Yeah, okay, no, I think it's not bad. Excuse me, I think it's actually not bad. Um, I also don't like my mic quality because I have to like do this from my room and not from where I like usually record audio for videos. So that's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Uh, Game also feels a little bit loud to me, but in the recording it sounded fine. That's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Game also feels a little bit loud to me, but in the recording it sounded fine. That's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Game also feels a little bit loud to me, but in the recording it sounded fine. Yeah, okay, sorry, there was duplicate audio there because I was listening to myself on stream. Whoops, that's okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna play Hollow Knight for like an hour. This is again mostly just to like test settings and see how the stream looks. I am recording locally too because I'm gonna upload this like not on like my main channel, because it would bother me. So yeah. Oh, I should actually change the title to something. Late night. Sorry for keyboard noises. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check one more thing. I apologize for all the delayed garbage, but okay, cool. Alright, I'm done looking at all this. I'm just gonna play the game. Yeah, so like I said, I don't really have a reason for like wanting to do this. I was just bored, and I've actually just felt like replaying Hollow Knight for like a long time. It's been so long, man. Last time I played Hollow Knight was like 2018 or 19, like a year or so after it came out. And I played it on Switch, not on PC, which I kind of regret, but I don't know, it is what it is. I like Hollow Knight a lot, but there's one thing I kind of wanted to like talk about with Hollow Knight in like an actual video is how for a game that's like heralded as like, you know, one of the best Metroidvanias of all time, which I think it is, it doesn't actually really do anything like new or unique, and it kind of, I guess, makes you think about whether, you know, if a game has to be innovative to if a game has to be innovative to be considered like, you know, one of the greats, so to speak. And I don't know. I don't think it does, obviously, because Hollow Knight's still like one of my favorite games of all time. Just because everything that it does do, it does it like so goddamn well. Like combat's really good, exploration is really good, bosses are really good, and all of that. I actually, in the Elden Ring video, I was kind of close to like referencing Hollow Knight for one specific thing. Um, One thing that I think Hollow Knight does almost better than Elden Ring, not quite, but almost, is how like the world expands after you're like pretty sure, like very confident that you've seen it all. Because when I first played Hollow Knight, like discovering stuff like Kingdom's Edge and Howling Cliffs and all that stuff that was like on the absolute edge of the map, um, it was kind of nuts because this game has like so many secrets in it. Um, it honestly kind of blew me away when I learned that Hollow Knight was only made by like a team of 3 people. Um, like, how do you only have 3 people to make something this big? You know, because the game is huge. It's really impressive stuff, and it elicits that same feeling of like pushing outside or like pushing the boundaries of the map. That I love Elden Ring so much for. And I honestly almost wondered if Hollow Knight does it a little bit better than Elden Ring. I ultimately decided like probably not, because in the end Elden Ring is like a bigger game, like horizontally. You travel like the world itself is bigger, like Lands Between is bigger than Hollow Nest, basically. And like the kind of whole spectacle and everything of Elden Ring, like nothing can, like it's too hard for something like Hollow Knight to beat it. Um, so that's kind of where I stood on it. But like Hollow Knight was like really the first game I played that made me like kind of fall in love with exploration, I suppose. Um, and I really did feel like Elden Ring elicits similar feelings with its world design, similar to how Hollow Knight does. Um, Speaking of Elden Ring, um, that video was something else, man. I I really enjoyed making it. I don't really know why I felt like making an Elden Ring video, to be honest. Like after I made the Subnautica video, like it's been like 8 months or something. It's been a long time. Um, I was happy with it, and I wanted to like keep doing more, but I just like started school again, and I just kind of got lazy with like editing and stuff, because like the Subnautica video kind of sucked to edit. Not gonna lie, and I got kind of turned off from making videos after that, so I just stopped. But like Elden Ring came out, and like God, there's so much to say about Elden Ring. Like even now, even though I said in that video, and I like tweeted about it a little bit, like I was so ready to be done with Elden Ring when I finished it. Um, but like it's still on my mind, you know. So like maybe in some ways it's like the ending is better than I gave it credit for, because I'm still thinking about it like a lot lately, even though I really don't want to play it anymore. Um, or maybe that's a sign that it's bad if it just sticks in your head for the wrong reasons. I don't know. Um, I still like Elden Ring, but like the more I played it, the more I just found things to not like about it. Um, and like most of that is like in-game stuff, but there's so many like nuanced, like nitpicky things that I wanted to complain about, but I just never did. Because like I wanted, the goal with that video was to make something a little bit more focused and only talked about like the really core things that I thought were like worth talking about with Elden Ring. And in that case, it really came down to exploration, which I talked about for like kind of the first 20 minutes or so, and then like bosses and the end game, which is like all the problems that took up like the last 30 minutes. There's like, so I don't need to go this way. I haven't remembered this area very well. um, but yeah, like there's so many like nitpicky things or like smaller things that bothered me that like I wanted to mention somewhere, but I just couldn't find a way to like do it organically, because it's stuff that I could sum up in like 2 minutes with like my argument or whatever. Like for example, one thing that really bothered me was that I guess spoilers for Elden Ring. I don't know if anyone's gonna care. Was that Caelid doesn't have like a real legacy dungeon. It has the Divine Tower, which almost felt like a legacy dungeon, but then it like ends like kind of before it starts. Like all you do is fall down. Redmane Castle does not count as like a dungeon at all in my mind. I'm trying to remember now. I don't even remember if there's like a medium-sized dungeon in Caelid. Is there? I know there's like the swamp, but that's not a dungeon. And there's like the sorcery town. I guess that might kind of count. I don't know. But like when I first went there and I just rolled up, and you just walk through Redmane Castle and like nothing can stop you, or you can just take a transporter at the entrance to like to the goddamn to the goddamn boss. That felt really weird, because throughout the entire game, or not the entire game, but like a lot of NPCs that you talk to in the beginning will like hype up Radon as this like super big bad, you know, oh, he was like the strongest general in like the whole world or whatever. And then when you go there to fight him, you just kind of like waltz into his like battle arena, and like there's not a whole lot of like build up to it. And I kind of feel like a legacy dungeon would like help that out a lot. Like it would make Radon feel a lot more like he has a bigger role in the world, because like lore wise he does, but like in the game the only gameplay purpose that he really serves is a boss fight. Like, you know, Godric and Renala and everyone else have like a dungeon attached to them. They feel a bit more like, you know, actual demigods. I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to complain about that. That is not what I wanted to do. I don't know if it's fair to complain about that. That was actually kind of another tangentially related, I guess. I kind of felt like the game didn't have enough legacy dungeons. But like I feel bad about complaining about, oh, like there's not enough content, even though like I think it's perfectly fair. Like it's a perfectly fair criticism. But I always feel bad complaining about it, because I'm aware that like probably 90% of the time it's due to like development constraints, not like design decisions. At least in the case of Elden Ring, I think that's definitely true. Like I'm sure if FromSoft could, or if they had more time, obviously they would add more content to it. But you know, it's a God, I'm gonna suck at this. But like, you know, it's a big release, and they have like deadlines they need to work on. Whatever, I get it. But you know, as far as creating a gaming experience goes, I'm disappointed with like 6 legacy dungeons isn't a whole ton. Also, when you consider that like Halig Tree kind of sucks, it's a little bit of a letdown. And you know, if Caelid, like if Redmane Castle was like a real dungeon, that would feel a lot better. But it's not. So I don't know, like stuff like that is what I wanted to like touch on in the video, but it would just boil down to a whole like, you know, 10 or 20 minutes of like stuff that I considered too nitpicky. And I kind of thought about like just making it its own video on that, or like making a video just on like that small stuff, and just like reeling off a list of like random complaints that I had. But I don't think I'm going to, because like I mentioned at like the end of that video, like man, I got sick of Elden Ring like after not super long relative to how long the game is. Like up to like, you know, 50 hours or so I was loving it. At, you know, 60 hours I started like getting a little tired, and then I got to mountaintops and I just started begging for the thing to end on my first playthrough anyway. Like on my first run I was so ready to be done with the game. And I don't know, it felt kind of weird with feeling that way with Elden Ring, because I haven't felt that way with a Soulsborne game for a while, where like I really want it to end. Usually I feel like I'm left wanting more, especially with Bloodborne. Bloodborne actually feels kind of short now that I've like beaten it a whole bunch. But like it's a weird thing to think about, because like I don't know if that's a problem with the game or if that's just a problem with like burnout and like just getting tired of playing it. Because like the game's really long, and like I don't hold that against it, because you know, it's an open world, it's extremely vast and whatever. But like, you know, I played it so much over you know, February, March, and April. Like it's kind of hard not to get sick of it, and like with the drop in quality of the content like towards the end, like it really just makes me feel even more that it should have ended earlier. But it's honestly never something I've been able to resolve. Like, should the game really have ended at Leyndell? Or, like, should have like Mountaintops just not been as big or whatever? I think at the very least, Mountaintops should have been smaller, and, like, maybe it would help alleviate that. Crumbling Farm Azula is also so long, but it feels wrong to say that that should be smaller, because I think it's such a good dungeon. But yeah, like burnout towards the end, like I didn't really mention that because, like I said, I don't know if that could have been attributed to like just getting burnt out on the game or not. And I don't think like, you know, you personally getting burnt out on the game is like a major issue. It's more like it's not necessarily a flaw with the game. It's just a flaw with, you know, how you experienced it. Like it's more, I guess, it's not something that's attributable to like most people that will play it, which is how I kind of try to like critique things. But you know, if it is too long, which I think you can make the argument that Elden Ring was too long, then like maybe it's relevant. I don't know. But yeah, like burnout towards the end was one thing, and I honestly I didn't feel it too much on my second run, which is actually where I got all of my footage for the video. Is the corner for the shop open? I don't remember. I do not remember this game well, like at all. Other than like some boss fights and whatever. I don't know. It's been too long. But yeah, like on my first Elden Ring run. Oh, I'm dumb. On my first Elden Ring run, as soon as I kind of got like halfway through Far Missoula, I was very ready to be done with the game, and I got really irked actually at the end when you have to fight like 4 bosses in a row. What am I doing? I'm not used to playing and talking at the same time. I'm sorry. Yeah, when I had to like fight, you have to fight like 4 bosses in a row at the end of Elden Ring. You have Malekith, you have Gideon, you have Horaloo, and then you have like Radagon and Elden Beast, which like if they're 2 separate fights, and that's 5 fights in a row, which is like so goddamn many. And like when I was first doing that, on my first playthrough, I was so tired. Like after I beat Malekith, I got really annoyed when Gideon showed up. Then I got really annoyed when Godfrey showed up, because like I just kept saying like, okay, please, like when is this gonna end? Like I want to be done with the game. Blah blah blah. I think that's more part on me because like I did like the whole second half of Far Missoula and like the end game boss rush like all in one sitting. But it really left a bad taste in my mouth at the time. I kind of got over it after playing a second time when I just like, I don't know, I guess didn't feel as pressured to finish the game. Cause like I played through my first playthrough like really slowly. Like it took me like, I want to say it took me like almost a month and a half to finish my first run, which was like longer than I kind of had expected / wanted. I want Wayward Compass really bad. Because like I usually finish games really slow, but I don't like doing that. I like being up to date on stuff, you know? Like I like being able to like talk about it and all that. But yeah, I finished Elden Ring pretty slow. So like by the time my first playthrough was almost done, I just really was eager to finish it up. But almost all of the footage from the video was taken from my second run because I didn't record all of my first run, mainly because of like performance problems, which obviously got better as time went on. Like when I first tried recording Elden Ring, it ran like absolute garbage when I had like OBS going with it. And then on my second playthrough, I actually like tinkered with some stuff. The game also had optimization and this and that, so it was like actually playable. Where am I going? This is not where I want to be, I don't think. Do I want to go down here? But these are locked, yes? Yeah, they are. I suck at navigating, just give me a minute. Yeah, I know where I'm going. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should stop thinking about Elden Ring. I did end up starting a third run of it, but I have like very little, like I said in the video, I have very little desire to like actually finish it. I probably won't. Oh, actually, no, that's something else that I wanted to mention in the video, but I just like never actually did. I made a conscious effort to like play the game with like a lot of different builds, just to, like get a feel, not a lot, but like with like different unique builds, just to get a feel for like how well things are balanced. I did my first run was like started out as pure Dex, then I did like Dex Arcane after they like fixed arcane scaling on like a whole bunch of weapons. And actually I had a lot of fun with it. That's usually like Dex builds are usually what I go for in these games. But on my second run, which is where I got most of my footage, that was my Strength Faith. Because like I wanted to, like, my first run I didn't use magic like at all. I usually don't in like first run games for Soulsborne. It was like just all melee, and like I used Reduvia ranged attack, if that counts. Yeah, I went like pretty much pure melee, and I wanted to get an idea for how magic was, because you know it's an important part of the game. I like seeing the balance of it, whatever. So I did Strength Faith for my second run. Faith sucks. I don't know if it sucks or if I'm just like bad at. I'm probably just bad at using it, but I actually like. It ended up being like mostly like a melee build still, because I never found good opportunities to like use incantations very often. Which maybe, like, I think that's partially on me for just not being used to doing like magic builds. Because that's the thing with the game, like builds that'll work for some people just won't work for like others, and that's fine. Like that's honestly a good thing as far as I see it. But like part of me started feeling like Faith was actually kind of underpowered, and I really wasn't sure if that was something I would bring up, because like I didn't really feel like I was qualified enough to like mention it. But then like 2 days after I finished my my Strength Faith build, 1.04 came out, and they buffed like pretty much every incantation in the game. So I don't think I was wrong to say that they were underpowered, if, you know, FromSoft also agreed. Which is actually kind of unfortunate, because like the incantations look really cool, and they're fun to use and all of that, but like I really do think they kind of sucked in like 1.03 and prior. So I'm glad they got buffed, but like I haven't really had a chance to like experiment and see how if the buffs were enough, you know. Like I remember there were a handful of spells that I did try to use pretty often. One of them was Frozen Lightning Spear. Frozen Lightning Spear, like, it looks so cool, and like it's like a nice AoE and all of that, but it has such a long wind up, and it does like 400 damage like late game, or probably not 400, probably underestimating. Like it does like 800 damage late game. Considering it has the cast time of like 3 melee swings for like a halberd or like a heavy weapon, that was not a useful incantation. So, and like a lot of them were like that too. Like even Lightning Spear, which everyone says is like the best one, I did not find it wonderful. But maybe I didn't optimize everything properly. I don't pay that much attention to that stuff. I don't know. But the feeling that I was left with after that run was like, man, Faith kind of sucks, and I like doing melee. But I think enough people have probably done magic builds to like disprove that. Like Faith, or like magic in general, probably isn't like that bad. Or it's probably not bad at all, really. I'm just like bad at using it. Is more the issue. Where do you go again? Usually I thought I came into this room from the other way. I don't remember. I can't play this game until I get like Wayward Compass. I should stop talking about Elden Ring. I should actually talk about Hollow Knight. Yeah, Hollow Knight. I like this game a lot. It's kind of become just something that it's like a turn brain off game for me. Like if I just want something interactive, but like I don't really want to think that hard, I'll just like play Hollow Knight, because like I'm very familiar with like the bosses and the controls and all of that. And I kind of want to make a video on like Hollow Knight, or like more Metroidvanias in general, because I did do like the Aria of Sorrow video at some point. And it was fun to do. but I don't know if I could talk enough about Hollow Knight to fill like more than like 20 minutes. Unless I was just doing a bunch of like filler stuff, I don't know. Which like I obviously don't want to do. But I honestly think half the reason I love Hollow Knight so much is because like it has like, off the top of my head, it has 0 bad boss fights, and like boss fights are some of my favorite things in games. Like the only boss in this game that I can think of right now that might have some like unfairness to it is Zote, but like it's been too long. I've only ever beat him once, so I can't say with certainty that that's true, but I don't know. But I really like the boss fights in the game, so what happened? You get kidnapped after this, I think. But yeah, it's been too long since I played, so I don't remember very much of Hollow Knight. But like I've had like a kind of a craving to just play it for the last like, I don't know, like 2 months or so, and I just never got around to it. There's always too much backlog stuff, man. So I feel like I've been talking way too much. I'm tired. It's like 1 in the morning. And I just felt like doing this because I don't want to go to sleep yet. One thing I think about with Hollow Knight sometimes, like when I played it the first time especially, is I kind of wondered if Wayward Compass should have been like innate. Like I don't know if I like the fact that it takes up a charm slot. It's probably fine in the end. I don't know for sure. Excuse me. Like I think at a certain point, like when your charm slots are actually like more, like there's more competition for stuff that you want to use in your charm slots, like at that point Wayward Compass just kind of becomes a nuisance, because like I suck at navigating without it, and it's like so convenient that it feels very weird like looking at the map and like not having it, because in a lot of other games it's actually something that they would just like that is something that would be innate. You wouldn't have to like equip it, or you wouldn't have to unlock it, or whatever. So I guess that is one thing that Hollow Knight does kind of differently, but I don't know, it's pretty minor. And like I know it's only 1 slot, so it's not a huge deal, but I don't know. I think I would just like it for like the sheer convenience of it. Like I think it'd be a worthwhile quality of life thing. Also, I'm trying to remember where you get, like, playing the game without dash and without double jump, even that just feels kind of weird. Like, I actually don't remember where you get Mothwing Cloak. I think it's in the Abyss, but I don't remember for sure. Because I know in the Abyss you also get, like, the iframes on your dash, I think. Like, the Shadow Dash, but I don't know for sure. I think Hollow Knight's kind of a fun game to revisit. Like, if you can go back to it after you've forgotten a lot of how it works and where all of the important stuff is, it's kind of cool. I feel like the beginning is kind of still in my memory, though. That Soul Catcher? Yeah. What was I about to say? No, I can't remember. Oh yeah, boss fights are the other thing about Hollow Knight that I really remember very fondly, and like I think it's still like in my muscle memory. when I was like first playing the game on my like first playthrough, when I was like getting super into it, I just like re-battled so many of the bosses like so many times. Like I would just sit in like Hall of Gods for like several hours and just like fight bosses that I thought were fun. Like Mantis Lords was a real big one. Lost Kin I remember liking a lot, even though I suck at the fight, or at least I did at the time. I probably still do. What else were the other fun ones? Radiance is always really fun. Not so much like I think no, Nightmare King is also really fun. I think Nightmare King is a good fight. Although I actually never maybe I'll do that this time. I don't know. I never actually unlocked Sisters of Battle, even though like I know it exists, but I never unlocked it because I just did not care to do the Pantheons. That's like the only major content that I remember not doing. Is I only did like the first two or something like that because I really didn't like the idea of fighting every boss in a row. It just like that's too exhausting. What do I want? Don't you have to buy a lantern from Sly? Let's get the pins. Screw it. And I am 6 geo short. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to remember if there's anything. Is there anything I missed in Crossroads? There probably is, but I don't know. That's something I think is kind of cool about games like Hollow Knight and even Elden Ring, I guess, is like even if you play them a good, 3-4 times, like there will be stuff that you miss. And that's part of what makes them like so much fun to revisit, I think. Yeah, I'll do these two. Because like if you actually like actively look out for secrets or whatever, you'll like find stuff that you didn't find before. Actually, that's something else I want to talk about. I keep thinking about Elden Ring again. I'm sorry. That's something else that I wanted to mention in the Elden Ring video that I thought was really interesting. On my first playthrough, and I don't know how common this is, but I would actually be curious to know. On my first playthrough, I completely missed Volcano Manor, like the whole dungeon area, and I completely missed Deeproot Depths. Like I had no idea they existed. Like in my first playthrough, I only fought Rykard like through doing all of the through doing like the quests. I never did the dungeon because I just didn't realize it existed. Because it's such a weird thing to like hide. Like you have to roll in the corner of a room to unlock it, and like I just never thought about it. And I looked I didn't look up that major stuff on my first run, so I had no idea. And Deeproot Depths, excuse me, I never got there because I missed it in Siofra. But I think you can get there from Leyndell. Like apparently you can get there from the catacombs, which I also, not the catacombs, from the Shunning Grounds, which I also didn't do, on my first run. Because it looked too confusing and I just didn't want to deal with it and never went back to it. So like those two dungeons, I just like not those two areas, I completely just missed them entirely, which is kind of it was kind of cool to like go and do them on my second run and actually like have some like big pieces of content that I could do for like the first time. I do kind of wonder, like I mentioned earlier, I kind of wonder how common that is. Like, do a lot of people just, like, straight up miss, like, major bits of content like that? Because if so, like, it does add to the replay value of the game quite a bit. And since the game is so big, like, you don't feel like you're getting shortchanged on, like, what is there. I don't know. It was really cool to just be able to, like, have new stuff to do, like, completely new, big stuff to do on, like, a second playthrough. Oh, I forgot that he did this. Whoops. Because like those like Volcano Manor especially, those places felt like really well hidden. Like, I wasn't really annoyed when I missed them either because of that. Like, it just felt like a cool little, like, surprise to, like, sink your teeth into when you play the game again. So I guess, like, credit to the game for having those kind of surprises, I suppose. Also, I kind of want to check audio again, but I don't want my own voice to be playing back on the stream, but I'm going to do it real quick. Also, I kind of want to check audio again, but I don't want my own voice to be playing back on the stream, but I'm going to do it real quick. Yeah, okay, volume still sounds good. I wonder if the game is too quiet. But this is all here for experimentation, so that's okay. I'm also not actually going to go very long. I'm only going to go for like an hour, maybe a little bit longer. I do not remember what attaches to, what this place attaches to. I know where Green Path is. Like, I know how to get to Green Path, but I'm just trying to remember if there's like stuff that I missed here. Well, not if. I'm trying to remember what stuff I missed, because I know I missed stuff. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the gates on the thing. Actually, I'm still going to talk about it. I want to talk about the process of making the Elden Ring video a little bit more. This isn't really a Hollow Knight stream. This is a chatting stream with Hollow Knight in the background. I feel like I have a lot of stuff that I need to do to like improve my efficiency and like my workflow when it comes to like making videos. Because with Elden Ring, it was the first time I like worked on something in several months, so obviously I had to like get back into it and whatever. But that wasn't the only thing. The technical side of like recording all of that Elden Ring footage was like actually a huge pain. And actually, like, when I was first starting out, it actually really stressed me out, and it made me think that I wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I don't have the most powerful PC in the world, like, by, like, 2022 standards. So trying to record the game while having settings at, like, a decent quality, because I want it to look good, and also actually being able to have like a playable experience, like that actually took a lot of tinkering with OBS to get it set up, and it worked out in the end, which I was really relieved that I could get it working. But God, it was frustrating. Like the first problem was the game already lagged in some places when I was not recording because it was so badly optimized for PC. And then when I turned on recording and ran around in Limgrave, I had like, 30 FPS, which I hated, because I like uploading things in 60 FPS and I like playing things in 60 FPS. So I tried switching, like I played around with like both like software encoders and NVENC, and like with NVENC recording, like the main hurdle that I was running into is I have a 1070 Ti, which could handle like NVENC and playing the game at the same time, like fine, but the recordings, like when I first tried it with NVENC, always came out looking horrible. Where am I going? The recordings when I tried doing it with NVENC always came out looking really bad, and like I could not for the life of me figure out why. Like I tried all kinds of like bitrate settings, and I tried like I tinkered with OBS for like a whole day just trying to get it to look good, and like doing so many test recordings and all of that, and I just could not get it to like look good, because like a whole other thing entirely is dealing with like YouTube compression, because YouTube makes videos look awful, or at least like my videos, and like small videos from like small creators, because like I don't know, I guess we're not worthy of like their fancier encoders or whatever. That sounds really like conceited. I'm sorry. But yeah, just like the whole process of like getting NVENC to like work and like look decent was a whole thing. And I almost even switched to using Shadowplay to record instead of OBS, because with Shadowplay it like looked better, but like I don't like Shadowplay. You have no control over like what you have no control over like how your recordings will turn out. And eventually the thing that ultimately got NVENC working and looking good on my recordings was just using OBS's like auto configuration wizard, which I never, like, I'm an idiot and I never thought to do that. And it took after I realized that, it only took like, 30 seconds of running it through the auto config and just letting it set settings. So I did that, and then I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll try it. So I did that, and they actually looked good. So that's the settings that I used to like record the whole thing. So that was its own thing. The other problem that I dealt with was the amount of footage that I recorded for it. Long and short of it was I recorded way too goddamn much. I recorded for the other games that I've done videos on, like Devil May Cry, Cuphead, Aria of Sorrow, and Subnautica. I had like one full playthrough as a recording, and then I had like a few extra things for like specific examples that I wanted to show or whatever. Like, oh, if I wanted to fight a certain boss multiple times to like show things off or whatever, then I would just get extra footage doing just that. But with Elden Ring, that's pretty tricky to do, because one, if you record a whole playthrough of Elden Ring takes like 40 to 60 hours if you're like trying to be thorough about it, which I wanted to be, because I wanted to have as much footage of examples as I could. So I recorded a whole playthrough of like doing side quests and like doing every minor dungeon that I found, even if I knew they didn't have anything useful in them. So I ended up with like 55 or 60 hours of footage, which is like so obnoxious to work with, because when you're recording Elden Ring videos that you try to make look good, they take up like a ridiculous amount of file space, and I do not have 6 terabytes of hard drive space that I can just give away to Elden Ring footage. So I ended up running everything through Handbrake. After like immediately after I did the OBS recording, I would run the recording through Handbrake, and it would compress it and make the file size like 20% of what it normally was. Because like for me, an hour-long Elden Ring recording would take up like 55 gigs or so, which I do not have the drive space for. I wish I did, because then I wouldn't have to like re-encode them, I think is the right word. I don't know. I wouldn't have to like re-encode them or run them through Handbrake or whatever. But I do not have enough space for that, so I ran them through Handbrake, and they would go from like 50 gigs to like 7 gigs, which was like way more manageable. And I didn't lose enough, like it didn't have a big enough drop off in quality that it bothered me. Like the space saving was more important. But in the end, I sort of ended up with like way too much footage, because I only obviously used like an hour of it. So I used like 2% of everything that I recorded, which is like not efficient. A big part of that I probably should have realized before I actually made the video was that I didn't talk about story like at all, but in all of my footage I like watched every cutscene and like let every conversation like play and everything, and that was like annoying. I think that's just kind of something that you can solve as you like, with practice, and you start getting an idea of like what specifically you want to include and stuff like that. Is this the hunter? Yeah, it is. And then when you have like 60 hours of footage to go through, it's annoying to like edit and everything. Which, like, I've found ways around that already. Like, I have a plugin on OBS that lets you, like, timestamp certain moments whenever you want. and it like saves them to a text file, and you can do like you can go into that text file and just like see whatever you timestamped. And you can like assign like labels to them and stuff. So like if it's like a boss fight, you can have like a boss fight timestamp, or like a dungeon timestamp, you can like put a dungeon timestamp and stuff like that. So that helps with like editing, because when you're going back and like looking for examples, you can just refer to like whatever timestamps you collected until you like find something in there that you like, instead of like sifting through all of your footage like at once, or like not at once, like sifting through all of your footage like one recording at a time, like just hoping you stumble across something that works, if that makes sense. So that's what I've been doing, and like it works for me. I'm probably not really qualified to like to give like helpful advice for that, but I don't know, that's just what I've been doing, and it's been working out. Hello, Hornet. Oh, I don't remember. What do you actually get for finishing the journal in this game? That's something else that I have never done. There are so many secrets that are just beyond me. Yeah, I do not remember what you get from this. I'm not really one for collectathon style or like completionist style things. So I have no idea what you get for doing that. I assume the hunter will give you something. What I do remember is not liking this layout very much, because it's annoying to traverse from one end of Green Path to the other. I just want to get to Hornet so I can get the dash, and then I'll explore the rest of it, I think. That's another fight that I remember actually being fun. I like the Hornet fight. Like, some of the subsequent ones are actually like pretty hard. I don't remember all of them, but I remember there's one in like a super snowy area. Is that Kingdom's Edge, I think? It must be Kingdom's Edge, because it's on like the far right, right? I think. I remember that one actually being hard. Oh, god damn it. I don't like the enemies in Green Path. Actually, I remember not loving this area very much. Actually, something about Hollow Knight that's kind of a problem that it's good at hiding is this game actually does not have a lot of enemy variety. A lot of stuff that you find in like Green Path or like even Fungal Waste or like wherever is just like reskins of like the same enemies that you fought previously. They just like visually look different, but functionally they're like the same. I remember that happening a lot in the game. But that also feels like a development constraint thing that I like feel bad for like talking about or like criticizing, especially because the game is made by such a small team, you know. I also feel like I should talk about Silk Song, but I don't know if there's anything to say about it. I do wonder what the development process for Silk Song has been like, because it's taken so long with like very little communication, which like I don't want to like get mad about. Like, I'm not mad about it, but like I am curious like how everything is going. I have full faith that it's like going well, but I'm kind of surprised that it's been so long without seeing anything, when like I would think that marketing would be a good thing for it. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not I don't work at a game studio, I don't know. But I do wonder about it. Sorry, I had to mute it. I'm going to check audio to make sure it actually worked okay, because I'm not used to OBS hotkeys. Yeah, that's good. What was I talking about? Silk Song. Like, I actually don't really follow whatever they do with... Like, I don't know if they actually regularly... If they have, like, a blog. Like, I know there's a Discord for, like, Hollow Knight or for Team Chair or whatever, but I'm not in it. So I don't actually know if they post, like, regular updates for it. But I assume they don't, because people have been, like, fiending for information for the longest time. Like, the last Silksong trailer that I remember seeing... I don't remember if it was the first one or not. It was... I want to say it was during a Nintendo thing that I watched it in, like, 2019 or 2020, but I could be wrong. The only clip that I really remember from it was Hornet, like... They were just showing off Hornet's, like, moveset for, like 5 seconds in the trailer, and that looked really cool, so I remember that part. But I don't remember the whole thing. I feel like there have there been more trailers since then? I don't remember. I guess my hunch is that there isn't, because, like, we've been starved for information for so long, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting seeing sorry, I have to switch my monitor thing for a second. It's kind of interesting seeing how people react when games get delayed. There's a really big subset of people who are very, like, fervent defenders of, like, you know, companies whenever they decide to delay a game. And, like, I think that's fair in a lot of cases. Like, if delaying means you can make a better product and a better experience out of it, like, I have no problem with it. But I do get really curious about, like, what it sometimes might say about how the development process is going, and, like, if there are, like, you know, problems with development that are happening. I saw people kind of joking. I don't know if it was joking or if it was serious. But when like Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed, I saw a lot of people talking about, like, you know, I hope this doesn't mean that the game is having, like, development problems, because, like, it's in the same engine, it's in the same art style, they're probably reusing, like, a whole bunch of assets for it, and it seems like it'd be kind of odd for it to take as long as it does. And, like, part of me kind of agrees, but at the same time, I trust that, you know, they're gonna do Breath of the Wild justice, because, like, it's their bread and butter. They kind of have to. And I don't really have a problem with them taking more time to finish it. But it did, like, when you know, whenever, I don't remember where I read it, but someone brought up, like, you know, it's just, like, it's very similar aesthetically and artistically, and probably even mechanically to Breath of the Wild 1. Like, how come it's taking that long? But I always feel so whiny and entitled when I feel that way. I don't know. Is this Howling Cliffs? I don't have a map for this area. This is Howling Cliffs, I think. I do not need to be here. Like, I don't know. I actually can't really remember the last time I can't remember the last time that a really big Nintendo release ended up being like a bad game, either like commercially or critically. Maybe ARMS counts. I don't know. Maybe ARMS is still relevant. I don't actually know. Like, I think it's gonna be pretty hard to... It'd be hard to assume that Breath of the Wild will be a bad game. Because they'll take good lessons from Breath of the Wild 1 and everything. Like, it'll be good. I do kind of wonder if it's not different enough from Breath of the Wild 1, if people will complain about it. Oh, you know what? Actually, Overwatch 2 is a really kind of a good example of this. Like, I don't remember when it was announced, but I know it was a long time ago when Overwatch 2 was announced, and now it's actually out in, like, closed beta or whatever it is, I don't know. And people are playing it, and it's, like, the same goddamn stupid game that it's been this whole time. Like, what was Blizzard doing for, like, 2.5 years, you know? Like, I don't play Overwatch 2, I don't play Overwatch anymore, but I've watched footage of it. And, like, it looks like the same game. And that is very strange to me. I don't remember if Overwatch 2 got delayed at any point, but it doesn't look good because it looks like Overwatch, and Overwatch isn't good. I shouldn't say that. I haven't played Overwatch in so long to say. But like, if it really took them, like, you know, 2.5 years to, like, develop... I guess functionally they've developed 3 heroes because a couple of them got reworked, right? Like, if it really took them, like, 2.5 years or however long to do that, probably longer, because the game was in development before they announced it, obviously. Like, it must say something about, you know, how development is going. I mean, obviously, I'm sure Overwatch 2 had a lot of development problems because it's a Blizzard game, and Blizzard blows. but I don't know. Because I thought, like, I guess Jeff Kaplan left during development and everything, which made it harder, but like, man, Overwatch 2 is having a rough launch. It's kind of funny. And, like, I don't like to say that, like, I don't know. I don't like Blizzard, and that's what I will say. I might die here. I suck at fighting these things. Alright, we're good. Yeah, I'm not happy to see Overwatch 2 fail, because, like, you know, I'm not happy to see studios and developers do badly, I guess. But, like, man, watching Blizzard, like, lose all of the adoration and, like, the support that they had from pretty much everybody, it was kind of heartbreaking. But I mean, obviously they deserve every bit of criticism that they got and whatever, but it kind of sucks when it impacts, like, obviously developers and staff so negatively. Cause, like, man, Blizzard is, like, the worst company that I can think of in, like, recent years. In terms of, like, I mean, in terms of, like, quality of their games, sure, but also just how the company is being run and everything. Like, it feels like a ploy for executives to make money. I don't know. I don't think I should... I'm gonna die if I do this, aren't I? 3 lives and no soul and almost 1,000 geo. I don't care. Let's do it. I did not remember how to fight Hornet that well, but I don't remember her being that hard. Yeah, she's easy. Yo, I got the no-hit. I'm nuts. Oh, alright, that was close. I got lucky. No hit run, let's go. Alright, please give me Mothwing. This game is so weird to play without Mothwing and without the double jump. Talking about Blizzard reminded me. Oh, sorry, I just had to look at something on my other monitor. Talking about Blizzard reminded me of something. I was talking about this with a friend a little bit the other day. I guess we don't know the working condition. Why is the door not opening? Okay, thank you. I don't remember this happening in the game. Obviously, this like they're different from Blizzard in the sense that we don't know how the company is run, and they're obviously not as controversial and not as criticized as Blizzard is. But in terms of like game quality, Square Enix is in a rough spot, man. I was looking at their like list of released games like in the last 5-ish years or whatever, and I concluded that like the only good thing that they have out right now is Final Fantasy 14. I don't even play Final Fantasy 14, but like apparently it's good. Everything else they've done has been a flop, and like everything like I didn't read it too much into it, but like where they like sold off a bunch of their IPs, like their important stuff like Deus Ex and Tomb Raider apparently. I didn't read enough into it to say for sure, so maybe I'm making things up. But I just know they sold a whole bunch of stuff, and like that's really weird to me. Like they have Final Fantasy and they have Kingdom Hearts, and I can't think of any other thing that they have now that they haven't sold, because all I really associated them with was like I guess JRPG stuff and stuff that they sold off. And like God, Babylon's Fall was so funny. I feel bad about laughing at bad games, especially because it's a platinum game. But like holy crap, Babylon's Fall was rough. I kind of wanted to like play it for a couple hours and then refund it just to see what it was like, but that's kind of a bad thing to do. I'm not gonna do it. But like I was really curious how bad it actually was, because like I only watched stuff on it. I didn't play it obviously. But I am so curious. And I saw that there was a tweet today that it drops to 1 concurrent player, and it just kind of broke my heart. I feel bad. Like I'm a little worried about how Platinum Games is doing like financially, because I can't think of a big release they've had that was like really like huge and successful in like the last little while. And live service games, I'm sure, obviously aren't cheap at all to produce, so there's no doubt in my mind that they lost so much money on Babylon's Fall, which is like really unfortunate. I don't remember where you're supposed to go after this. Fungal Waste is the next area, but there's stuff in Crossroads that you can get with the dash. I'm gonna go back to Crossroads for a little bit. But yeah, Platinum especially, it kind of hurts to see them struggling, just since they're very unique, and no one really does things quite like they do. I can't actually remember like the last Platinum game that I played though. I still haven't played Nier Automata. We have it, but I have yet to play it. I tried Wonderful 101 like several months back, and I thought I would really like it, but I actually didn't love it very much. I should give it another chance maybe. But even Wonderful 101 wasn't like commercially successful, I don't think. This is not where I'm trying to go. Wonderful 101 was so creative, but it has so much like it has like the Kamiya touch that bothers me a little bit. Like I love Devil May Cry. I like Bayonetta, but I hate like the mini game stuff that Kamiya does in his games. And like Wonderful 101 had so many of them in like the first like 4 missions, and I dropped it after that because I just got so tired of it. Like I wanted to play with the core combat so badly, because it seemed really cool. But there's just like there's so much stuff in the way, like just getting to it. I read an analogy from a GameFAQs post on, I think it was talking about Bayonetta, I don't remember, that said, Kamiya games, it's like eating crab legs, it's too much work for too little meat, and I felt that so much. Not so much with Bayonetta and like Devil May Cry, like, I like both of those games a whole lot, but like with Wonderful 101, like, yeah, I felt it. I don't think I've played it. I haven't played Beautiful Joe or Okami, so I don't know what it's like for those games. But yeah. I also still haven't played Revengeance yet. It goes on sale a lot, and I keep meaning to buy it. Because I'm pretty sure I thought I would like Wonderful 101 and I didn't, but like I'm pretty sure I'll like Revengeance. Everyone likes Revengeance, and it's cool to see it have such lasting appeal. It seems like a really cool game. I completely forget where this is. Are you supposed to come at this from the other way? I think you are. God damn it. See, this is why I say Green Path is annoying to navigate. Is there a stag station here, or is it in Queen Station? I don't remember. One of these doesn't have a... It's either Green Path or Fungal Waste that doesn't have a stag station in them. It's at Queen Station instead, I think. Alright, 1 second. I'm checking audio again, so it's going to repeat myself. Alright, 1 second. I'm checking audio again, so it's going to repeat myself. Okay, cool. Where am I going? Crossroads. I have Overwatch 2 on the brain now. I wonder if it's free for Overwatch owners. Apparently, I kind of do want to try just to see if it is as bad as people are saying. I still remember when when Overwatch 1 was coming out for the first time, there was so much excitement over it, and it was honestly really cool to see when like they were kind of in their more in their heyday, I suppose. Because even I bought into the hype and I played Overwatch for a while, and I got bored of it fairly quickly, but I mean, it was cool to see everyone get so excited for something, and now Blizzard is just it's a husk of a company. Seeing everything that came out about Blizzard was just so like heartbreaking too. And it's part of the reason why I didn't really want to keep playing their games, even though I never really cared about Blizzard games that much, but I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on autopilot right now, running through Green Path. I think if you keep going left, you just get to a place that, like, it's the giant swamp, like, not the swamp, it's the giant pool, right? That you just can't cross it. I think that is over here. Or, oh, sick. Yeah, it's all the spikes over there, you can't go that way yet. I need, City of Tears is when everything kind of opens up to you, I remember. I also do not have a single mask shard, I just realized. I almost definitely missed some, having just running through things too fast. Actually, I've always kind of wanted to try doing, like, challenge runs for Hollow Knight, but I never really did. I think, doing, like, old nail only run would be really interesting. Because the max nail upgrades does so much damage, it makes the game a lot easier. I'm also kind of surprised that I have not died yet. I think, one of the reasons that, like, Hollow Knight still, like, I can come back to it, and I think generally people can come back to it, and, like, still kind of have a grasp on, like, the controls and everything, because, like, it feels very intuitive to just move around. I know that sounds kind of silly to say, but, like, Hollow Knight has, like, no acceleration. You, like, have, like, max airspeed, like, right when you get off the ground, and, like, kind of the nuances to your movement like that. It still makes it feel really, really good to just run around in. Some people, I understand, like, probably won't like that as much. Like, they'll like having a bit of, like, acceleration, or they'll have a little bit of, like aerial momentum that you actually have to, like, adjust a little bit or whatever. But Hollow Knight just still feels good to play. Like, it's a control scheme that, like, just kind of clicks with me, you know? Like, everything's just very immediate and very snappy and all of that. Actually, I might just get back to Forgotten Crossroads and then just end, because I want to look at the recording for this and also see how it compares to YouTube, like, stream audio. That's another thing why I wanted to, like, do this, just test how my mic sounds, like, in my room and not where I, like, recorded stuff for Elden Ring. Because where I record audio for Elden Ring is in, like, a closet that's, like, decently soundproofed. Because, like, there's, like, clothes everywhere and you know, carpet and a nice, like, thing that I can stand the mic on and all of that. Recording audio for the Elden Ring video was so tiring. I did it in, like, I technically did it in 3 sittings, but one of them, like, the second sitting that I recorded in, I didn't use any of the audio for it because it just didn't sound good, and I, like, wasn't talking how I wanted to and all of that. So I ended up wasting, like, 3 hours just recording audio, and I'm not good at, like, putting on a narrator voice for that long. I learned, like, I get tired, like, my voice gets tired, and I get so thirsty. And stuff like that. I took a speech course at school actually this past semester, and it kind of helped overcome that a little bit. But I don't have a good speaking voice, I don't think, but that's okay. I'm gonna go hand grubs in, and I'm gonna go to the shop, and then I'm gonna call it, I think. Because I just want more money. Why am I going that way if I'm handing grubs in? What's over here again? Well, I said I was gonna do that, but now I'm getting sidetracked, so 1 second. You can pogo bounce off this, I think. Wait, I'm pretty sure you can. Wait. God damn it. Oh my god, am I gonna die trying to do this? Alright, sick. I do not remember what's over here. Oh, does this lead to, I was gonna say, does this lead to fungal waste, but no, I don't think it does. Oh, this leads to, I know where this is going. This leads to, what's his name? The spider guy. I forget what his name is. What is he called? God damn it, I don't remember. Let's go find out. I think that's what's down here. Brooding Moloch, I think is what it is. Or am I completely... Yeah. Yep, Brooding Moloch. I actually am not very good at this fight. As you can see. Oh god, I have almost 1.2k. Please don't kill me. Oh, my life sucks. Yeah, I forget that you can't really pogo bounce off him. That would be too broken. You can like parry with his tentacle, can't you? Okay, I'm just gonna DPS him. I'm pretty sure I'm almost done. Okay, maybe not. I'm regretting trying to DPS him. Alright, that was lucky. I'm really bad at that fight, but that's okay. He gives me a mask shard, doesn't he? Yeah. That was scary. Alright, now I am just going to go to Grubs, and then I'm gonna go back to town and buy stuff, and then I'll be done. I don't know if I'm gonna pick this up again. This was mostly like just an experiment with like audio and like YouTube quality and stuff like that. I don't know if I actually like if I actually like streaming that much. Streaming that much. I just wanted to try it and also see how like quality on YouTube is and stuff like that. I don't actually even get very many grubs, I don't think. What I actually never remembered about this is he just gave like 4 geos and the mask shard. What I don't remember is if like the grubs in the background, they must, right? If the grubs in the background like count as ones that you've saved. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay, I guess they must have. I just got 5 things, right? I don't remember. That's okay. 1.3k is plenty. The lamp is like 1800, I think. I can't afford that. Hello, Tiso. Hello, Zote. Zote's really funny. Zote's a cool character. Like I mentioned, though, I actually remember not liking his boss fight very much. Like, it actually felt kind of unfair sometimes, but maybe that's me being bad. I want these. I don't want those yet. I never use the markers. And I want to go to Sly. He has like 2 mask shards, doesn't he? Oh, a vessel fragment. Oh, his mask shard is really cheap. What? Let's go. Just one more. He sells the other one. I don't care about Stalwart Shell. I kind of like Gathering Swarm in the early game. But I don't have the charm slots for it. Key. I'm just gonna get another fragment. I'm not that worried. Yeah, I'll just get Gathering Swarm. I'm just gonna try to clear him out as fast as I can. Oh, okay, that's it for me. I only went for like an hour and a half. Not even. But that's okay. I want to see how like audio turned out and everything. And no one watched anyway, so that's fine. If someone actually happened to watch this far, then thank you for checking it out. I don't really know if I'll stream that much or like ever again. Like I mentioned, this is mostly to like test like OBS settings and recording and streaming quality and stuff like that. But it was kind of fun, and maybe I'll just turn on Hollow Knight and like flip this on at some point if I ever get bored. Who knows? Anyway, that does it for me. Have a good night, day, evening, whatever. Bye bye. I'm not gonna stop recording yet because I need to check. Yeah, okay, that's good. Cool.